Viewers, there's been a dramatic development today. The fire over prophet cartoons have spread beyond France and are now engulfing innocent Hindus living overseas. In fact, not very far from India, just across the border, in fact. Indeed, after Prime Minister Narendra Modi took a principled stand against Islamist extremism and backed the French position opposing beheadings of those who supported the publishing of prophet cartoons in the name of free speech and secularism, Hindus living in Bangladesh, viewers, have been terrorized. Now look at the pictures on your screens. Look at the center of your screens, viewers. Thousands and thousands of individuals, Bangladeshi citizens, began to target their own Hindu brothers. It was very, very terrifying. We have spoken off record, viewers, to a large number of Hindus who have suffered this violent backlash. But viewers, obviously, they can't be put on air because we can't even comprehend the kind of retribution that will be unleashed against them if that were to happen. Bangladeshi authorities claim that the Hindus were targeted after social media posts went viral, calling for attacks on Hindus for backing France and supporting Narendra Modi's position. Can you believe it, viewers? Principled positions in defense of free speech, liberal values, hard secularism. You take a stand, and this is what could happen. Yes, viewers, this is what could happen for being a responsible citizen. The alarming scenes are obviously setting off alarm bells across India, and we are being told that the MEA is looking very closely at the situation in Bangladesh, as there is a fear that such copycat attacks might take place in greater frequency in our neighborhood, including here, of course, on Indian soil next, viewers. Remember, over the last few days, certain politicians from the left-orientated Congress and MIM and Muslim parties have called for attacks, including beheadings of those who support France, who support Narendra Modi and the Indian state. This is a frightening prospect, viewers. In fact, a little later, I will report news coming out of the United Nations, news in which we are being told that the United Nations and its various agencies fear retributive violence beyond France. We've already seen it against Hindus in Bangladesh, but it could become commonplace, these lone wolf attacks. Viewers, today we want to ask the Congress Party and the AIMIM, whose leaders had backed retributive violence, including punishment by beheading of those who did the right thing by supporting France, if they will take onus for the attacks on Hindus, not just on Indian soil, but also overseas and in our neighborhood. But first, viewers, listen to the poisonous incitement by Congress MLA Arif Masood and Owaisi-led party's UP unit office bearer Farhan Zubairi. Listen to these chilling calls for beheading, for violence, retributive violence, on the basis of which today Hindus are being attacked, viewers, after Christians. God knows where this will stop, but it needs to. But first, listen to these insightful, poisonous commentary.
अगर हमारे बस में होता तो हम तेरा मुंह कुचल देते, हम तुझे बता। मैं इस सरजमी से ऐलान करता हूं फ्रांस के राष्ट्रपति और फ्रांस के अखबार नवीसों, तुम्हें तुम्हारी जबान में सीरत तो नबी पढ़ने की कसम है, अगर पढ़ लो तुम कलमा नहीं पढ़ लो तो मुझे आली मसूद मत कहना, ये कहना चाहता। नबी की सीरत को तुमने नहीं पढ़ा इसलिए गुस्ताखी की है, लेकिन तुम्हें यह नहीं भूलना चाहिए कि उस नबी को चाहने वाले करोड़ों लोग अपनी जान की बदानी की बाजी लगाने के लिए आज़म हैं।
आपकी नामूस के खातिर, आपकी नामूस के खातिर
जान भी हाजिर, माल भी हाजिर।
गुस्ताख रसूल की एक की सजा,
सरतन से जुदा, सरतन से जुदा।
गुस्ताख रसूल की एक की सजा,
सरतन से जुदा, सरतन से जुदा।
Viewers, these poisonous barbs are not happening in some remote corner of this country. They're happening in metropolitan cities and on the polescape of Bihar. In fact, viewers, when we confronted the likes of MIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi over the insightful remarks of his party office bearers, he sought to draw a false equivalence. Listen to this.
As far as Muslims of India are concerned, it has really hurted us because there is no concept of idol worship in Islam. We don't draw any images of our Prophet, and the whole world knows about it. The party has laid down its policy. In that letter, I would request you that I'm sure that you have very esteemed people. Let them read that letter. Let them read, watch that video of mine, and the facts will be clear.
Yes, your video is there, but don't you think you need to take action against people like Farhan Zubairi because they are invoking criminal
you see, when Yogi Adityanath is not being taken to task, देश के गद्दारों को गोली मारो सालों को, हाँ, all these things are happening. I am telling you that I have laid down my party's policy. The party has given its thinking on this issue, and it is clear. It answers your question also.
It answers your question also. No action against this individual on your screens, viewers. He can call for the beheading. People around him can call for the beheading of those who don't see things from his prism. But Asaduddin Owaisi will not take responsibility. By whipping up hatred against those supporting the French position in support of free speech and hard secularism, these Congress, MIM and other Muslim groups in India have become part of a larger hate narrative that has been promoted by the likes of Zakir Naik and Mahathir Mohamad. It's a global narrative, viewers. Not only this, but there is every likelihood of copycat attacks against moderate Muslim Indians and those of other denominations for the bold and principled stand they have taken. The attacks, of course, raise several questions, which I will pose. But before that, viewers, there is some breaking news coming in. The Congress party that opposed the CAA, which would have given protection to Hindus and other minorities in Muslim-ruled countries like Bangladesh, Afghanistan and Pakistan today, is attacking the government for not doing enough for defending and protecting the Hindus in Bangladesh. Can you believe it, viewers? Your own MLA, Rahul Gandhi, your own MLA, Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, is standing up and inciting people to violence. And you are passing the buck. I mean, this is bizarre. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, your own MLA of your party, is standing up and calling for physical violence against those who don't agree with him. And you are today asking questions of the Indian Prime Minister. Such abdication. Don't you see those pictures of those Hindus being attacked in Bangladesh? This is a direct consequence of what you proclaim irresponsibly. Start taking action against violence. Show those pictures, Nizam Bhai. Show those pictures. Let the world see the pictures of Hindus being terrorized because there are some people who've signed up, not only in this country, but globally, to call for retribution in the name of God. So anyone who today doesn't have a same point of view, you will do this to them. I want to open this up tonight, and I want to ask some basic questions. I want to ask Tausif Ahmed, I want to ask Waqar H. Bhatti, I want to ask Deepak Jha. Deepak Jha, will you take responsibility? Your leaders go out there, call for retributive violence, support calls for beheadings, physical assaults. Now they are happening against Hindus in Bangladesh. Tomorrow they'll happen here. Will you not take onus, sir? You have set the benchmark so dangerously low. Tell me, Deepak Jha, tell me, sir.
राहुल जी, मैं आज आपको बताना चाहता हूँ, हिंदुस्तान की सभ्यता आज की सभ्यता नहीं है। जब भाजपा पार्टी का जन्म भी नहीं हुआ था, भाजपा तो 30-35 साल
सर, मैं हिंदुस्तान की सभ्यता की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं, मैं कांग्रेस पार्टी की सभ्यता की बात कर रहा हूं।
मैं आपको बता रहा हूं।
आप मुझे भारत की सभ्यता के बारे में ना बताइए।
हिंदुस्तान की सभ्यता
नहीं, मेरे भारत की सभ्यता ये नहीं है सर,
कांग्रेस पार्टी
जहां हम जाके लोगों का सर काटें, उनके घर जलाएं, उनको मारें, उनको पीटें, क्योंकि
सुन लीजिए,
क्योंकि नहीं, उनको आपकी बात पसंद नहीं आई। ये भारत की सभ्यता नहीं है, तो आप सभ्यता ना मुझे समझाइए सर। सर्वधर्म संभव
सुनना पड़ेगा।
मैं आपसे एक सवाल पूछ रहा हूं, आप उसका जवाब दे, मैं सुन लूंगा, पूरे आधा घंटा सुनूंगा, मगर आज जवाब दीजिए सर
जी।
हमारे को टोपी मत पहनाइए प्लीज।
मैं बिल्कुल
ठीक है, मैं आपसे अब सवाल पूछता हूं, क्या आपके एमएलए के जो जहरीले ये तेवर हैं, क्या उनकी वजह से आज आप रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेंगे जो ये अटैक्स हुए हैं हिंदुओं पर? मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूं।
आपके पास कोई ऐसा बयान है कि जिसमें सोनिया गांधी, राहुल गांधी ने कहा हो कि जाके आप हंगामा करो, कोई उत्पात करो? कोई किसी का बयान है? नहीं है। बयान किसके आते हैं? भाजपा के नेताओं के आते हैं, सरकार के आते हैं। रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी सरकार की बनती है। राहुल जी,
आपके पास ऐसे कोई बयान है जहां सोनिया गांधी और राहुल गांधी इनको कंडेम करते हैं अपने? नहीं, आपके पास ऐसे कोई बयान है? मुझे दिखा दीजिए जो सोनिया गांधी और राहुल गांधी ने कहा आरिफ मसूद को आपने गलत किया। आरिफ मसूद, आप अपने आवाज वापस लीजिए, अपने अल्फाज वापस लीजिए। आप एक एमएलए हैं कांग्रेस पार्टी के, आप एक इस्लामिस्ट एक्सट्रीमिस्ट नहीं है।
वेदों में भी कहा है।
नहीं, मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूं सर, आप मेरे से बहस जरूर कीजिए, मगर दीपक झा जी, मैं आपसे एक सवाल पूछ रहा हूं।
भगवान,
आप सवाल के जवाब देने आए हैं टाइम्स नाउ के इंडिया फ्रंट के कार्यक्रम में। आप मुझे एक मिनट, मुझे एक छोटा सा जवाब दीजिए। क्या राहुल गांधी, प्रियंका गांधी और जो आपके लव राजनीति के जो सबसे बड़े स्पॉन्सर हैं राहुल गांधी, उन्होंने ऐसा कभी कहा है आरिफ मसूद के बयानों के संदर्भ में कि आरिफ मसूद ये नहीं चलेगा, ये कांग्रेस पार्टी की मर्यादा नहीं है? बोला है ऐसा? मुझे आप एक बयान दिखा दीजिए पिछले 45 घंटे में, 48 घंटे में, 60 घंटे में, 72 घंटे में, 90 घंटे में, आप दिखा दीजिए मुझे दिखा दीजिए, दिखाइए।
राहुल जी, आज मैं आपको एक बात बताना चाहता हूं। क्या गृह मंत्री, क्या पुलिस प्रशासन, क्या कोई भी व्यक्ति कानून पे जो बैठा हुआ है वो राहुल गांधी से आगे पूछ के कार्यवाही करेंगे कि आपके पार्टी
दीपक झा, आप मुझे ये बताइए कि आप मानते हैं कि आरिफ मसूद ने ठीक कहा या गलत कहा? यही मुझे बता दीजिए। डू यू अग्री विथ आरिफ मसूद? Deepak Jha, do you agree with Arif Masood? Look, Shadab Poonawala wants to come in also. He's raising his hand, but I want, no, 1 minute. आप मुझे एक चीज बताइए।
दीपक झा, सवाल समझो। दीपक झा, सवाल ये है कि क्या सोनिया गांधी, राहुल गांधी को मंजूर है कि आरिफ मसूद उनके विधायक एक आतंकवादी के साथ खड़े हैं, ना कि फ्रांस के साथ, ना कि फ्रांस की उदारवादी मानसिकता के साथ, ना कि इमैनुअल मैक्रोन के साथ? आज आप टेररिज्म के साथ है, तालिबान के साथ है या टॉलरेंस के साथ है? सोनिया गांधी किसके साथ है? और अगर नहीं है तो हिंदुओं पर जो हमला हुआ बांग्लादेश में, वो सीधे सीधे आरिफ मसूद की करतूत है, वो सीधे सीधे जुबैरी की करतूत है, वो सीधे सीधे एमआईएम की करतूत है, वो सीधे सीधे कांग्रेस पार्टी को उसके लिए जिम्मेदारी उठानी होगी।
Viewers, this is very shocking. You know, these two gentlemen might be trading. 1 second, lower everyone's faders. 1 minute, please keep quiet. 30 seconds. 30 seconds, please keep quiet. This is a very dangerous point we are reaching, viewers. If people in this country are going to legitimize violence, we are done for in the name of religion. We have had individuals who have said globally, and I'm talking about the Mahathir Mohammeds of the world, not a small individual, former Prime Minister. What did he say? He said that Muslims have a right to avenge with violence injustices of the past. Tomorrow, if all Hindus were to rise up, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, if all Christians were to rise up and start taking revenge for perceived injustices of the past, what would happen? You know, we would see scenes like this. We would see ethnic violence of proportions never witnessed in this world. The Nazi Holocaust will look small in comparison. The murders by Mao and other leftists in their countries would look insignificant by comparison. The partition of this country and the violence unleashed would look insignificant. What are we doing as a people? We need to stand up against Islamist terror. Each one of us, whether we are Congress, just because you are in the Congress party and you don't like Modi's face, doesn't mean that you oppose on principle a very, very evolved stand that this country has taken. 1 minute, Mr. Deepak Jha, 1 minute. You show me one statement by Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi praising Macron for using secularism to protect his own citizens from Islamist terror, and I will eat my shoes with salt and pepper. You show me one statement. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, why don't you come in on this? This is a very, very dangerous point and slippery slope we are standing on. We can go either which way. Already, and I'm getting news, and the United Nations, let's put that news out, the United Nations is telling us that there could be more lone wolf attacks all around the world. Now, can you imagine? The first ones have started taking place against minorities, Hindu minorities in Bangladesh, Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Tomorrow they can take place closer home. You don't get much closer than Bangladesh, Doctor.
Yeah. No, absolutely, Rahul, and good evening. But I have to tell you this, that, you know, the problem, that it is intractable, I'll come to in a minute, but it is more, less immediate than philosophical. And if we want to solve it, or rather attempt to even tackle it, we have to look at the larger picture. And the larger picture is as follows, that all these grisly attacks that you've been showing, these horrible visuals, each of them has been explained away as a reaction to Islamophobia. In fact, people are saying now, there are some quarters in the left and the Islamists, that they're saying that the French secularism is oppressive in nature. The French are Islamophobic. And because of this discussion, mind you, both of us are going to be termed Islamophobic. So everything is legitimized as a reaction to Islamophobia. So what I mean to say is that if we want to explain this, we have to understand what Islamophobia is. So please give me a couple of minutes. I think it's very important. You see, Islamophobia can broadly be categorized as 1, irrational fear of Islam amongst non-Muslims, and 2, rational fear of discussing Islam in its entirety amongst Muslims, which is the so-called axiom that I talk about, snare the fundamentals but spare the fundamentalists. As for the second categorization, I have explained this multiple times before, that it is the so-called moderate Muslims who are Islamophobic. That is, they fear Islam. They fear to bring out the commandments of their holy book in their entirety on Jews, Christians, polytheists, homosexuality, apostasy, heresy, dress code, wife beating, blasphemy, because they fear being called illiberal and hypocrites. So they end up condemning the Muslims who are faithfully following the fundamentals. And I do sympathize with the moderate Muslims on this count to an extent, because beyond their accepting their hypocrisy lies catharsis, yes, but beyond catharsis lies apostasy, and beyond apostasy lies certain death. The problem, Rahul, is intractable and it cannot be resolved. 1.8 billion Muslims will never allow a handful of moderates to dictate that those verses mean something else. Let me now briefly come to the first categorization, which is Islamophobia being an irrational fear of Islam amongst non-Muslims. Look, Rahul, I exhibit absolutely no animosity towards any human. Why should I? As a Darwinian atheist, I look at all religions dispassionately, without emotional indulgence or subservience. So, of course, Any irrational fear of Islam is to be condemned. Of course it is. But what about rational fear of Islam amongst non-Muslims? Why do the followers of Islam discount and brush this off? Tell me. If a holy book explicitly defined who a believer or a non-believer is, 33, 36, 3, 132, 8, 2, 49, 15, and had more than half of its verses asking for the total destruction and annihilation of non-believers, polytheists, Jews, Christians, saying they were the worst of creatures, 98:6, never be to be married with 2:21, condemning them to eternal roasting in hell, 4:56, would a non-believer not fear that book? Especially when it is incumbent upon 1.8 billion believers to follow those commandments. Islamophobia, therefore, Rahul, is a rational emotion for both Hindus or polytheists as well as Muslims. And we need to understand this before we tackle this problem.
Well, I am worried today because this fire can spread very fast, Mr. Bhatti. I want to ask you, having respect for human rights, how is that a phobia? How is that a phobia? Do Hindus deserve to be targeted for supporting France and its President Macron for upholding secularism? Mr. Bhatti?
मिस्टर राहुल, मैं बड़ी क्लियर तरीके से अपनी बात यहाँ रखना चाहता हूँ। जो बांग्लादेश में हिंदुओं के ऊपर हुआ, अटैक हुआ, उसका रीजन क्या है? उसका रीजन है जिस तरीके के साथ हिंदू टेररिज्म और क्रिश्चियन टेररिज्म का एक गठबंधन हुआ है।
हिंदू टेररिज्म
गठबंधन ये है कि मुसलमानों को किस तरीके से टारगेट करना। 1 मिनट मिस्टर राहुल, 1 मिनट। मुसलमानों को, इस्लाम को किस तरीके से टारगेट करना। क्यों फ्रांस में घटना होती है, हिंदुस्तान क्यों सपोर्ट में आता है?
हिंदू टेरर,
इसलिए सपोर्ट में आता है।
हिंदू टेररिज्म कौन सी किताब में लिखा है सर? कौन सी?
हिंदू क्रिश्चियन
mentally challenged person on your
one second.
I have no hesitation in calling him a mentally challenged person.
No, he's not mentally challenged. He's not mentally challenged, Mr.
How dare he raise the bogey
Mr.
of Hindu
Kohli,
terror
let me
to
tell
make
you,
a
these people are not
justification
mentally
against
challenged. These are extremists. This is the extremist
And I
phase.
consider an extremist.
This is the same mindset that informs Arif Masood, Congress MLA, Farhan Zubairi, MIM Youth Wing Chief. These are the same people. These are the same people.
मैंने बोला ना हिंदू क्रिश्चियन।
This is the face of Islamist extremism, sir. This is the problem. Mr. Kohli, this is the problem. This is the problem. This is what we are dealing with. Mr. Kohli wants to come in. 1 minute, Mr. Bhatti.
Shankar, I would like to also add another thing, Rahulji, that it is these kind of people who appear on television, who create these kind of silly and stupid narratives that contribute and are actually the ones who are creating the problem. Because what has happened in Bangladesh requires an unequivocal condemnation.
It will not come.
He has not even started with that, nor has that gentleman Deepak before him.
They don't care.
Unequivocal condemnation.
For them, it's electoral compulsions. Mr. Kohli, and I want to ask you, how do you expect this Mr. Jha to come out and condemn these people when he can't condemn his own MLA? What does his own MLA say? Force Macron to read Kalma or change my name. Can smash Macron's face for insulting the Prophet. Just substitute Macron.
2 minutes of fame.
Just
of people who don't
no,
even
this is not about fame, sir.
The kind of
this is a mentality.
Creating.
This is a mentality. This is a mentality. Ghanshyam Tiwari, do you think this can be accepted in a secular democracy like ours? Should the Congress party not be taking action against Arif Masood, who called a massive rally? You can see the pictures of that rally. Thousands and thousands and thousands of Muslims heard his message. Tomorrow they'll start beating people up, killing, murdering them in the name of what they believe is some sort of an interpretation from the Quran or the Prophet's verse. I'm not conversant. I'm not an authority. But this is what Mr. Arif Masood is trying to teach these people. And more than that, you have Farhan Zubairi, who says if anyone commits blasphemy, we will behead him. Should this not be condemned, sir? Mr. Tiwari, you belong to a responsible political party called the Samajwadi Party till I last checked. Will you take a position?
I believe that what has happened in Bangladesh is dangerous and it must be condemned. And we should condemn any such attack which uses religion.
Condemn the Congress and the MIM. Can you condemn Congress and MIM?
If you are interested in Congress, please join them. But let me speak for my party.
I'm asking you to condemn, sir, because these people are your allies. The Congress and the MIM are your ideological allies. No. They are your ideological allies. I want a condemnation of Arif Masood and Farhan Zubairi from you tonight, right now.
Editorially should put out an anti-Congress editorial line. Put it out.
Mr. Ghanshyam Tiwari,
I will speak for myself.
condemning the likes of Arif Masood is not anti-Congress, it's anti-humanity.
It should put out in its news article. You are a news platform. You should put out your editorial.
I'm asking you, Arif Masood, do you agree with Arif Masood?
Ghanshyam Tiwari can't take a position.
Anyone, and Shehzad could be your new editor if Shehzad wants to heckle everybody. I see.
Abu Azmi, what do you mean?
No, that's
Shehzad, what do you mean?
You can be the editor.
What do you mean?
Fanatic in the making in Shehzad, sitting here and every day creating this Hindu Muslim bogie in India because he does not know which party he belongs to. The man who served Congress for 8 years is going to preach us what is right and what is wrong, and you give him a public platform to just heckle everybody on the debate.
You have done more political parikrama than I have done, so please don't get holier than thou on me, and please tell me that aren't you responsible for making this Sharia mob go after innocent Hindus. The blood is on your hands. The blood is on the hands of PMIL. The blood is on the hands of Abu Azmi, on the hands of Arif Masood, and those who politically back them.
Who do not have a local stand.
Let me come in. Gentlemen, let me come in. Shehzad, 1 minute. Let me come in. Mr. Punawala, let me come in. Mr. Tiwari, don't respond to Times Now. You're not incumbent. It's not incumbent upon you to respond to Times Now. Will you respond to the Indian Prime Minister? Your Prime Minister, who has taken a position, a principled stand in support of France?
India.
1 minute. Let me finish my question. I'm asking this on behalf, sir, of the stand that the Indian government has taken, number one. Number two, do you support, as a member of a responsible political party, do you support Arif Masood, Congress MLA, and his utterances, and Farhan Zubairi, MIM youth wing activist? Yes, no?
I believe India has taken a responsible stand, and the world looks up to India for India's stand on diversity, on secularism, on multi-religious harmony. The world looks up to us. I visited Brussels, European Commission. I have had discussions where they look up to us in how India deals with our diversity by giving everybody equality. And no one in India will support any call for violence on any pretext. Let us not use international events to create self-doubt among our own people and to doubt
Who is using these international events, sir? I'm not using it. Did I hold the rally? Have the guts. I'll tell you, I'm going to play out a Samajwadi Party leader, a very influential Samajwadi Party leader from Maharashtra. His reaction. The reason Ghanshyam Tiwari is having a problem, viewers, tonight, taking a position, unequivocal position against Arif Masood and Farhan Zubairi is because there are members of the Samajwadi Party who say exactly the same thing. And I'm going to play out Mr. Azmi's reaction. Let's play it out. This is what Abu Azmi said, viewers. Pay attention.
मैं कंडेम करूंगा उन लोगों को जो लोग आज जो है हमारे धार्मिक लीडरों के खिलाफ ऐसी बातें अपमानित करके अपने आप को मशहूर करना चाहते हैं, और अगर आज टेररिज्म बढ़ रहा है तो उनकी वजह से बढ़ रहा है। मैं सबसे पहले उनको कंडेम करूंगा। कहते हैं जुल्म और नाइंसाफ़ी के खिलाफ आतंकवाद बढ़ता है। मैं गांधी जी का अनुयायी हूँ, मैं सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल का अनुयायी हूँ। उन्होंने भी ब्रिटिश के सारे सामान का बाइकआउट किया था। आज उनका हम लोग उसी रास्ते पर चल करके फ्रांस का भी सामान का बाइकआउट करना चाहिए।
There you go. Boycott France for taking a principled secular position. This is Abu Hashim Azmi using an international event, Mr. Tiwari, to strike a chord with a constituency. That's your true face.
It's a contradictory position as he's.
Why should we boycott France, sir?
You can see.
Why should we boycott France? What has France done? Tell me, what has France done, sir? Why boycott France? France has taken a position against Islamist terror. You have a problem?
Are you going to let me speak?
You have a problem, you tell me. Do you agree with Abu Hashim Azmi?
Are you going to heckle or you are going to let me speak?
Do you agree with Azmi, your colleague? Should we boycott France?
I communicated that India has taken a very responsible position, and India is an example for the world to look at on how we deal with multi-religialism.
Is therefore Mr. Azmi wrong? Is Mr. Azmi wrong? Is he wrong?
If you listen to his statement is contradictory. He
says
is saying that he
boycott
believes
France. I'll play it out again. Play it out again. Mr. Tiwari will not hear. He will choose not to hear, viewers. Let's play it out. First, he blames other faiths for creating this violent backlash. Point one. Then he starts talking about Mahatma Gandhi. Then he says we must boycott France. Listen to it, viewers. I'm not deaf, neither are you, but Mr. Tiwari is selectively deaf. Now, let's play it out.
मैं कंडेम करूंगा उन लोगों को जो लोग आज जो है हमारे धार्मिक लीडरों के खिलाफ ऐसी बातें अपमानित करके अपने आप को मशहूर करना चाहते हैं। और अगर आज टेररिज्म बढ़ रहा है तो उनकी वजह से बढ़ रहा है। मैं सबसे पहले उनको कंडेम करूंगा। कहते हैं जुल्म और नाइंसाफ़ी के खिलाफ आतंकवाद बढ़ता है। मैं गांधी जी का अनुयायी हूँ, मैं सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल का अनुयायी हूँ। उन्होंने भी ब्रिटिश के सारे सामान का बाइकआउट किया था। आज उनका हम लोग उसी रास्ते पर चल करके फ्रांस का भी सामान का बाइकआउट करना चाहिए।
French president should be boycotted. For what? For standing up to Islamist terror. Mr. Tiwari, do you agree with Abu Azmi? He says French president should apologize with folded hands. I've even got a clip of his from another news channel. Here it is, viewers. It's in my hand. ABP news channel has quoted him and he has in fact retweeted. Mr. Tiwari?
I have stated my point of view that India has taken a responsible stand.
Okay, so Mr. Azmi is wrong. Say Mr. Azmi is wrong. Why do you shy away from saying it?
It is difficult for you to comprehend?
क्यों कर रहे हैं sir? Just come out and say Abu Hashim Azmi is wrong. He's wrong.
For a channel who's done 70% Hindu Muslim.
He is wrong.
In last 5 years.
Is Mr. Azmi right or wrong? I'm asking you, Mr. Tiwari. Is Mr. Azmi right or wrong? Is he right? Is he wrong? Is he right? Is he wrong? Come on, answer me. Is he right or is he wrong? Don't attack me. I'm asking you. Is he right or is he wrong?
I have stated my position.
You have not stated your position clearly. I'm asking you, is Abu Hashim Azmi right or wrong? Is he right or wrong?
In comprehending, you must consult somebody.
I am not comprehending anything. No. I'm asking you. If you think India has taken a principled position, then you must tell me that Abu Hashim Azmi is wrong. That he is spreading. No, that he is spreading. He is spreading discontent in the Muslim community by calling for the boycott of French products and thereby also denying and decrying India's position. I'm asking you, Mr. Tiwari, आपको क्या compulsion है? Say that Mr. Azmi is wrong. Just say it.
If you have challenge in comprehending, you should consult some help.
Viewers,
my point is
on record,
I made my point.
Wishy-washy, Mr. Tiwari. I have taken a principled position. India's position is okay. But France's position, we don't know. We don't know France's position. I can't respond about that because, you see, I've been put into a corner by in my own party, who is today inciting Muslims, viewers, to take up violent means. That's the problem. And they have the guts to say, gall to say that, oh, times now is stirring the pot. Can you believe it, viewers?
Well, you do Hindu-Muslim debate.
Bangladesh Hindus are being targeted on your screens because of the irresponsible statements of leaders of political parties, mainstream political parties here in this country. That's the response. And tomorrow it will happen here on our soil. And these people will still draw false equivalences. 1 minute. Let me bring in Tausif Ahmed. Tausif Ahmed, do you condemn the likes of Arif Masood, Farhan Zubairi and Abu Hashim? Yes, no?
Rahul, you see, it is an absolutely non-negotiable and established rule of Islamic tradition that any form of cartoon or picturization of Holy Prophet of Islam is taken as an offense to the spirituality of the message of the Prophet Muhammad. And therefore, one must draw a distinction, a line of freedom of speech and should not cross it. Macron wanted to condemn the attack which was carried out by an extremist person, but he crossed the line. and he therefore hurt the sentiment of the people. There are world leaders.
So you will decapitate.
You will see Canadian Prime Minister.
They will decapitate. Let's cut off people's heads because you don't agree with them. That's what I'm saying to you, viewers. This gentleman is a TMC supporter. He's a TMC supporter. These people are mainstream politicians.
And a proclaimed liberal.
When a president of a country speaks, he must be careful of how he speaks.
Shehzad Poonawala, how do you respond to this? Dr. Ranganathan, Mr. Kohli, let me bring in Mr. Kohli. Mr. Kohli, respond. Mr. Kohli, respond. That the Prime Minister has supported. Going by this logic, going by Mr. Tausif Ahmed's logic, the Prime Minister of our country has supported Macron, who is an Islamophobe and a bigot. That's what Tausif is trying to say here.
You know, I have a problem, which is including with all the participants so far, is that none of them have, for humanitarian and human values, condemned the attack on innocent people. All are seeking justification. So are they saying, by the same logic, that a madman, by misusing the name of Islam, goes out and cuts somebody's head, or as a bomb blast kills others? I mean, is that justified for whatever be the reason? Of course it is wrong to go out there and say anything about any religion. Why should anybody not condemn anybody who says anything wrong about Prophet Muhammad, the same as Lord Krishna or Lord Ram or Ma Durga or anybody, or Lord Shiva, anybody? You can't say anything wrong about somebody else's God or messenger. But at the same time, can you say you take the law in your own hand and go and cut somebody's head? Or I'm inciting you that you have the power to do so and we should cut the head of somebody off? Is that what a civilized society is about? And the Congress spokesperson or the supporter is out there making a case that no way,
as a leader of the country,
they can
one
go
must be very careful of the
prostrate
choice
themselves
of
in front of Rahul ji, Priyanka ji, anybody else, Sonia ji they want. But should human values be thrown into the dustbin?
Viewers, at the end of the day, what are we defending? We are defending freedoms, liberal freedoms. These people who call themselves liberals, leftists, secularists, are the ones today who are tearing down the rules-based order that we have constructed to live safely in our societies. And they talk about Hindu terror. Now, viewers, let me tell you this. If you go by what Tausif Ahmed is saying, if you go by what Bhatti is saying, Mr. Waqar Bhatti is saying, then tomorrow, viewers, several individuals who call themselves Gaurakshaks can target people of another community because they eat beef, saying that our sentiments are being hurt. And therefore, we are justified in doing what we want to do. There are laws. There are laws. What, I'll tell you viewers, what Mr. Tausif Ahmed should have said is that yes, if you believe that your feelings are being hurt, go to the courts, move the courts. There are laws in every country about hurting people's religious sentiments, invoke those laws. Dr. Ranganathan, am I wrong or am I right tonight? Am I wrong or am I right tonight? Tell me. 1 minute. Mr. Tausif Ahmed, you're an apologist for beheadings.
Rahul,
you have crossed the line tonight. You are inciting mobs to violence. Retributive justice cannot be allowed. In fact, that is extremism. Nothing retributive and nothing justice about it. Yes, 1 minute, 1 minute. Please, let Mr. Dr. Anand Ranganathan come in. Dr. Ranganathan.
Yeah, Rahul, with due respect, you are both right and wrong at the same time. Of course, you are right when you, I, Shehzad, have condemned this violence. But you and Shehzad and possibly me and others are wrong when we believe that it is no longer true that Gustakh-e Rasool ki ek hi saza, sar tan se juda, sar tan se juda. It is conscripted. It has to happen. Please understand. And expecting
okay, Shehzad, does it have to happen? Shehzad, does it have to happen?
Are you going to apologize?
Shehzad, does it have to happen?
Let me quote to you.
It will.
Let me quote to you.
No. 1 minute. Let's not get there. 1 minute. Let me bring in Shehzad. Let me ask him. He knows enough.
Please.
Let me ask him. Shehzad Poonawala, you are a devout adherent also of your own faith. Is Dr. Ranganathan right when he says that it is bound to happen? It is ordained to happen?
Absolutely. And Rahul, the real people responsible today for the backlash that is being faced by the Hindus in Bangladesh are the handlers of these so-called Sharia mob leaders, the Rahul Gandhis, the Sonia Gandhis, the Asaduddin Owaisis, who do not come out and condemn unequivocally what their leaders have been doing. Today, I think more than anything else, the onus is on them. When they have the hypocritical stand that the government should intervene in Bangladesh, they should tell us what action they have taken against those who oppose CAA law and also who supported these Arif Masood types.
Who is my dear friend. आपने क्रिटिसाइज किया अनुराग ठाकुर को, आपने क्रिटिसाइज किया गिरिराज सिंह को.
You can be a dear friend of Arif Masood. You can be a dear friend of those Islamist mob leaders. I am not your dear friend. Please don't associate me as your dear friend.
सबका विकास करते इतनी बढ़िया बात
मैं आपका dear friend नहीं हूँ.
जो इनके शागिर्द हैं जो
जिनका सर कलम करना चाहते हैं आप, मैं आपका dear friend नहीं हो सकता.
बांटने की बात करते हैं.
दीपक झा जी,
रूल और रेगुलेशन यहाँ पे
दीपक झा एक मिनट, अगर वो गलती थी क्या हम दोहराएं गलती? Should we keep repeating the mistakes?
Rahul, I was interrupted.
Yes, you were interrupted. Okay, you were interrupted. What do you want to say?
I want to say something.
Say. Go ahead.
Yes.
Say it. Say it. I want to bring in Mr. Kohli
Rahul,
right
very
after.
Important. I
Yes.
just wanted to say, yes.
Yes,
I wanted to make a scholarly, if I may call it, intervention on the Islamic ban on the depiction of Prophet Muhammad. Now, this ban doesn't come from the Quran, but the Hadith, and is founded upon hatred for idolatry and idol worship. That is why polytheists are considered the worst of creatures, 98 sects, and marriage to them is forbidden, 221. In fact, praying at a Sufi shrine or dargah is expressly acknowledged in the Holy Quran, 35:13, 46:5, 27:80, 22:73, and forbidden.
Okay, one second. Let me bring in Mr. Kohli. I'm running out of time. Mr. Kohli, every time you ask the Congress, 1 minute, every time you ask the Congress representative, the TMC sympathizer, the Samajwadi Party representative, they say, but look, hate happens. Hate is happening for a long time. It emanates from BJP ranks. You never question them. There is Hindu terror. There will obviously be a reaction. Therefore, everything is justified. How do you respond to that?
Well, we debated it, haven't we? Whenever it is there, just now one gentleman kept saying this phrase, "Desh ke gaddaron ko goli maro salo ko." Where is that a Hindu-Muslim sentence? You want to make it a Hindu-Muslim sentence, so you're doing it. This is the case of an actual act of terror. This is going out there. So today there is a strong case for CAA. So the question to be asked of the Congress is, if you want to help the Hindus in Bangladesh, do you stand with CAA or not?
Let me ask.
Because that is exactly what you have been saying.
साहब छोड़िए, मैं आपसे सवाल पूछता हूँ.
CAA or not?
Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary का मैं एक मिनट, Mr. Jha, 1 minute, listen to me. Don't get hysterical, Mr. Jha. 1 second, listen to me. Will you support the CAA to rescue Hindus from Bangladesh? आप बांग्लादेश में जो हिंदू फंसे हुए हैं, जिनको आज टारगेट किया जा रहा है, कि आप आज CAA को समर्थन करेंगे उसका, और उन हिंदुओं को आप बचा के भारत लाएंगे? करेंगे आप समर्थन? करेंगे आप CAA का समर्थन?
देखिए राहुल जी,
करेंगे?
राहुल जी, जो बांग्लादेश में लोग रहे उनकी बांग्लादेश के लिए वो बांग्लादेशी हैं,
बांग्लादेश जाए जहन्नम में जाएं,
हमारे लिए
आपके लिए सारे हिंदू जाएं जहन्नम में, कुछ लेना देना नहीं. मगर फ्रांस में अगर किसी मुसलमान को कोई प्रॉब्लम हुई तो हम खड़े होकर बुलंद हो जाएंगे और हम कहेंगे कि हम बिहेड करना चाहते हैं लोगों को जो उनके साथ खड़े नहीं होते. ये तो है कांग्रेस पार्टी का असली चेहरा. व्यूअर्स, दिस इज द रियल फेस ऑफ द कांग्रेस पार्टी. विल नॉट स्टैंड uniformly for human rights because it doesn't suit their politics, it doesn't suit their vote bank. Can you believe it, viewers? Soon we'll, under a Congress regime, parts of the constitution will be thrown out because it doesn't suit certain constituents of their party. That will happen next, viewers. It happened for 70 years in Kashmir with Article 370. Imagine history repeating itself. This time as a farce, viewers, as a farce. I'll take a short break. We're coming back. There's a massive disclosure on this channel by one very close aide of the Gandhis who is today disaffected with her party. Why? We'll tell you.